I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video of art. This is art, right? When you look at this, I want you to spend a few minutes. You may be watching this video because you know a lot about these cars, but there's a lot of other people who have seen them, and this is going to show up in their feeds and what have you, just because of the detail and art that's gone in here. I'm going to ask Amr to go ahead and show some of these incredible pieces that are done on here that cause this car to stand out over anything. Listen, this car is in the showroom with other supermodels that are here, but when it is outside, there is nothing like it on the planet. Here's a question for you. Do you know how to make $150,000 in the car business? Spend $300,000 restoring this car, right? This is what it costs to restore these cars because there's so few craftsmen left. All of these pieces are made of what we call unobtainium, meaning they don't make them anymore. So every piece, if it's lost or broken or rusted all the way through, it has to be fabricated or sand cast or whatever. And then putting all of these pieces, all of the furniture grade wood, the gauges, and painting the needles properly. These pieces here are spectacular. They weigh, this is a 5-pound piece, and it's just the B pillar that goes here when the convertible top's up for the windows to roll up. It is the coolest car I think maybe we've ever had here. You spent a few minutes on this, man. You may never even drive it. Who cares? Who cares? In your garage or in your living room, there is no better piece of art. You can't buy a beautiful piano for that. Here, you could drive this thing and then park it right back in your cave. It is just, anyway, let's get started. We're going to talk about this, paint, all that good stuff. We're going to go for a test drive. I might even ride in the back for a minute. We can sit and chit-chat, you and I, and we'll see how it goes from there. All right, some great tidbits about this. Think about this for a second. They couldn't print the brochures and things like that fast enough, so they came up with a tagline. The tagline was simply, ask the man who owns one, right? And that was enough to propel this even to another level. If you know anything about Packard, the Super 8, you could get this particular model, right, in a V12 and the 8-cylinder, very much like today's car. You can get a new Aston with a 12-cylinder and the 8-cylinder. Why do they offer it that way? Well, because the 12-cylinder was very expensive and was very complex, right? More prone to maintenance and breaking down and things like that. And this was a long distance car. Clearly you can see from having dual spare tires on here, all the coach room that's in the back and what have you, that was designed just for that. So having the 8 lowered the price of the car, made it more affordable to regular people, and that's how all that started. This is the most expensive car that they sold, right, other than the V12, and it shows. Why does it show like that? Well, let's look at this for instance. We're talking about handmade parts. We're talking about handmade grills and these styling features, because everybody says, Tone, that's a beautiful car, but 9 times out of 10 we don't know why it's a beautiful car. And so for some of the reasons might be, look at this, headlights encapsulated in here, these special headlights with these grids here to deflect the light down so it's a better driving car. These handmade fenders that are carved out and welded inside as well. They're not just left wide open, so that these are cradled in there properly. Where am I going to put the mirror? I'm going to put it right here as another piece of art. The vents here, right? This was a powerful car. It could drive all day long, right? And it was designed to long distance. Back to my original long distance statement is that the 8-cylinder, lots of torque, plenty of room back there, and before the American highway system was even developed, you were on the road. So while most people will say, well, paint's really important, well, they'd be absolutely right, because if I sold you a primered car, you would not be happy. Paint is important. This is Coachman Green, and with the Cognac Leather Interior inside, it is a spectacular color combination. It's why we do the video, right? We want you to be able to see that. So check this out. We'll do the mirror finish here. Look at the ceiling that's right here. Look at the lights that are here. Look at all of this inside the paint, and just check out exactly how beautiful. You can read every letter. Nice and crisp. That's great paint. Make sure you look in the paint and see all of those things, and that's really what you should be looking for. Much of the art and detail of this vehicle, believe it or not, is under the hood. I want to spend a second, not because this is a 600 horsepower twin turbo, right? This is a torque maker. It makes an enormous amount of torque. It's a straight 8. And the only reason they went away from the straight 8 was because hoods on vehicles got shorter. And so they couldn't fit the straight 8, so making the V8 allowed them to redesign the cars. But these things make great torque. But more importantly, the attention to detail in here, when you build a car that's $250,000 to $300,000 for restoration, what do you get? Well, let's talk about that for a second. Here we have powder coated pieces in here, right? The starter motor is even gloss black, way nicer than it would have been in the factory, right? But the dual air horns, the Deco Remy generator in here, the correct belt is on there, the radiator is recored and painted properly. Each one of these stainless head bolts is on there as well, right? Every piece detailed, painted. You may say, wow, Tone, that's nice wiring, and not really understand what that means. The simple fact is very few people even sell or make this wiring anymore. Some people have to hand make it. It's cloth covered wiring. That's what they did back then. The fuel pump, dual stage with filter already in there, beautifully done. Steering box, all the attention to detail. You have to know that just this right here would take 6 months just to get rebuilt, get done. The transmission being underneath there, giving you the drivability that gives you so much torque and power and that great cruising capability. So we haven't put the boot on the car because we're driving and moving it around and what have you, but obviously when the boot's on there, it looks super nice and clean. I get so excited about this. This is stuff like you don't get. Like, I don't think many people understand the effort that it takes to make this almost this 90-year-old taillight work properly. The way they put these finishing touches to make a car a luxury car, right? Then this folds down so that you could put your trunk on the back. That's what we did back then. This right here, even the latch, even sounds like, listen to that. There's not a car made today that's anything like this. The trunk, beautifully done. Carpets match inside the vehicle, inside the trunk, with the beading around the sides there. These are the two side pieces that we showed earlier, right? All stainless is new, chrome is new, polished and new. The tag light is cut out of this right here to shine up on here. 1937, we're talking about this. Shining up on there, allowing you to see that. I don't know, man. It's just all of these little things make for a fabulous looking car. And underneath the car, you've seen the pictures of that. We don't need to spend any time with that. It is, you might even have dinner underneath there. Again, Packard had many patents along the way because their designers and engineers were amazing. But you buy this car to go for a drive in it, right? You can either be the driver, it drives well, or you can be back here. I just wanted to give you an idea of what it's like, the comfort in here. Can you imagine going to dinner with another couple or with the kids or 6 people in this car, which would fit comfortably, right? This is beautifully done. All of the detail is here. It looks really nice. The grab strap is here so that you can get out as you get a little older. That might be. There's storage underneath there. This is a footrest here that, if you don't want that there, folds out of place so it's not in your way. All these little tiny touches are spectacular. Anyway, where you're going to spend most of your time, well, maybe, maybe not, is up here. And so let's go check that out real quick. All right, so come join me in here. This is amazing. It's amazing. Take a minute because you don't want to minimize the effort that's been put into making something of this caliber. This car was very expensive at its time, right? It's very expensive to restore. Got storage underneath here as well. All of this is furniture grade wood, right? These gauges, beautifully restored. I want you to think about something for a second. This is 1937. This has a 120 mile an hour speedometer. Cars weren't going even close to 100 miles an hour. This was an aggressive speedometer for these vehicles because they were fast and powerful cars as well. But they also were cars for people who love to drive. And so all the gauges that work here. Check out this original style radio that's here, which is kind of just so cool to see all of that built into the dash. I mean, it's the twin glove boxes, every piece of chrome, burl, wood, touched, all re-chromed. banjo style steering wheel. I get excited about it because, you know, we restore cars here for a living, and you would have no idea this could be easily a 3 to 7 year project, depending on if you could find somebody to start on it tomorrow. That's why it's always best to buy one like this that's already done and ready to drive. The smoothness of the Packard is why people bought these cars, and the starter button in today's modern car was pioneered by this, and just so easy. Look how easy this is. Unbelievable. This car, 1937, is 2025 that we're doing the video, and just amazing. How many years is that, by the way?
88 years old and starts like a new car.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay.
Quality all the way.
How you doing? Hey, thanks for joining us on this ride today. We've got a great friend of mine here, John, who agreed to come along. He loves Packards, he loves cars. He's got some great cars he's got from Flemings, Cobra, GT40, and had many of the world's greatest cars, and loves these cars. I thought we would bring him along since it's always great to have an enthusiast with you. And I think also too, he's not only aficionado, but has some in-depth knowledge of some of this. So if you don't mind, share some of the things that you love or know about Packard and why every man should own one.
Well, the first thing I love is I came by today just to see the final progress on my GT40. Flemings is building it just a year after they completed my Cobra. Both amazing cars. And I'm so thrilled to be sitting in this car with Tony, a 1937 Packard. Packard was the gold standard back in the 30s. In fact, Enzo Ferrari was motivated to build his V12s based on what Packard was doing. Really special cars. And they used to do a little game back in the day where they put a standing nickel on its edge on the running engine, and they're so beautifully balanced the nickel would not fall over.
Anyway, so we decided to take it out on this great country road, which is why you would buy this car. Well, you can either ride in the back or you can ride up front, because they serve dual purpose in the sense that they're great driving, powerful cars. But can you imagine going to dinner in this car with two other couples or another couple? The food just tastes better. The experience is better. You can take the kids out in this car. You could go to a parade. You could go to a show. All of those wonderful things that can happen in a car like this. As we're driving around, people are just looking and going, oh my God, what is that? And like seeing a Ferrari somewhere, this is like seeing the most exotic sports car ever, because you never see them. And listen how quiet it is.
And comfortable too. It feels like we're sitting on a living room sofa.
It does. Just a beautiful restoration too. When you look at a lot of restoration, you can just see when a lot of money is spent on one and done well, and this is just really nicely done.
Agreed, and the woodwork is furniture quality, and the metal grain dash made to look like a Burl wood. All of it's just beautiful.
Anyway, thanks for driving with us today and getting us out of work. We had a great time. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up down below. It gets our message out. We really appreciate that. Maybe share it with your friends. They might see something that they like as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got new stuff coming out every day. And I'll see you on the next drive. That drive was epic, was it not? I know, I told you, you don't, until you watch the video and you ride in them, you can't understand what it's like to go down the road. Everywhere we went, thumbs up, people wanted to talk, can't believe this is on the road. And they're right, because how many of you see, first off, they didn't make a lot of these because they were super expensive, right? Secondly, it costs an enormous amount of money to restore them, especially to this level. And then lastly, how many are left in here and ready to go? When I say this to you, I only say this to you as an expert in restoring cars. Maybe I'm not an expert in restoring cars, however, we do it for a living. I say this to you, and that is, buy it while you can. Don't sit and hope that, someday you can get to it. If you can afford to do it, you need to do it. Secondly, you only buy them and let somebody else who's restored it enjoy it for a little bit. They're willing to take the depreciation for it, and you benefit from it. This is a great piece that you could be driving this weekend. Anyway, call us, 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about it.